We're live. Woo!
Hello! We did it! We
Yeah.
figured Zoom out. It took us all of like 20 minutes, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Zoom's changed like all their stuff since a couple years ago. So I haven't zoomed really.
I guess they got to upgrade in funds after the pandemic. So, they got all these weird TikTok features and stuff and just keep it natural, man. We don't need all that stuff.
I know. And I don't even have an updated browser, so I'm like still old school.
Oh, no worries.
But Ricky to the rescue. But how are you? I love your background of
Oh,
your room. It's so cool.
yeah, this is actually where I recorded I Just Want to Dance. This is the same room. So,
That's the room.
that is the
I
room.
love it. I love it because
That's the mic. That's the mic.
I love that. I'm like feeling the vibes. I'm loving the neon peace sign. And is that like a Simpson character on the bottom?
No, my brother actually drew that for me. It's an anime called Assassination Classroom, I think. He drew that for me a while
Okay.
back.
I love that. You guys are so talented. I
Oh,
love it. I'm just feeling all the vibes. Oh my God. Well, I wanted to, the reason why we're Zooming is because we're on separate coasts. You're in the East
yes.
Coast and I'm in the
Yes.
West Coast. And I wanted to do like an intro to all the people that are a part of my brand new album that just came out, a nonfiction fairy tale, and you're part of it. So,
Yes. Thank you so much for the
and
opportunity, by the way. I really appreciate it.
oh God, no. When I met you, I think it was 2 years ago, right? In LA.
Yep.
First of all, do you remember like what was your first memory of me when you first met me?
The
If you
hair.
remember.
The
The
hair.
hair.
The hair.
It's a trademark, the orange, right?
No, but you
But
definitely stood out in the crowd and I just wow, she got really good hair.
thank you.
Yeah.
I pay for a lot for this. It's so natural. Um, but no, you were playing for many friends of ours that
hmm
night. Um, all friends from the East Coast, like Vivian and I believe Joni too, right? Joni and
Yes,
Vivian.
yes.
And I don't know if you played for somebody else
I do play
that night.
for well, not that night specifically, but I do play with a
Okay.
lot of people within the East Coast scene.
Yeah, no, I totally see that. And I just remember watching and you would make appearances and I was like, whoa, who is that? And I remember after you were so busy because there's so many people and it's like super like people are networking and doing their thing. So like I was like, I just want to like introduce myself and say hi. And if I have a chance to talk, because sometimes at these things you don't have a chance to like,
Yep.
banter and stuff.
hmm
But we were able to exchange Instagrams, I believe. And then because you were so busy, I just ended up like DMing you,
hmm
right? And I was like, "Do you live in the East Coast or the West Coast?" And you're like, "East Coast." I was like, "Darn it!"
You know what's crazy?
What?
A lot of people assume that I'm from the West Coast. I get that all the time, and I think
See?
it's so it's. I guess a lot of people think when they hear my accent, I guess it's like a neutral West Coasty accent for some reason. I don't know why, but that's just how I
Yeah,
am.
yeah, no, but I was like, "Oh, okay, makes sense that that's why you were playing with so many people like that
hmm
are in the family scene, like Vivian and Joni, and so I was just like, okay." And then I just remember hitting you up on Instagram, like, "Look, you are amazing. You're total rock star, and I would love one day if the stars align to be able to do something." And I remember earlier at the beginning of this year, I was doing a presentation in New York,
Mm.
and I needed a guitar player because my guitar player couldn't come. And I asked you, "Hey, like it's a couple of songs. Would you be willing to do it?" And you're like, "Heck yeah!" And what was that experience like? Because like I have like a pretty tight, solid squad,
Yeah.
and I've never like reached out to other people that aren't part of like the 24/7 Twinkle squad. I was like, oh my God, like how is this gonna work? But I was like so confident. But like what was your first impression like when we had our like super quick rehearsal. Like, what was your impression of me, of Dallas, of like our whole squad?
Well, first off, you guys were super tight and super professional. Like you guys already had the choreo worked out when I walked in there. You got all the cues. I was like, oh wow, that's how they're going. Okay. And also, when I played with you guys for the first time, it felt like we've been playing for forever, which is so
Yeah.
weird because that was the first time meeting and the first time playing together, but it just all melded together so well.
Yeah,
It
it
was
really
just,
did.
yeah.
I was like, "Oh my God." And every musician plays differently, right? Like
Hmm.
yes, you're playing like the notes that are a part of the song, but
Hmm.
people the way it's just like a singer when they ad lib or when they emote like their vocals like they could be singing the same song but everybody puts something a little bit unique into it and
Hmm.
your riffs that you were doing and just all this stuff I was like woo, I was getting goosebumps. I was like this is so good and I was like oh my God like I was like, God, we have to do more of this together. And it was just
Yes.
so fun. And it was like such a whirlwind. Like, we literally had like a 2 hour rehearsal and then did our 20-minute show
It's
and
freezing
that was
cold
it.
around the time when we did it too. It was freezing cold.
Yes, it was freezing cold, but you're used to it. For us, we were like, oh my God, this is insane. Like, we're such Cali people. Like, it was like snow flurries, and my dancer, me and Tiana, we were like, ooh, like making TikTok videos because we're like, oh, flurries. People must think we're crazy, but yeah, no. And then after, it was such a great experience that um, we'd been working on this album and piece by piece, because I'm like not the kind of artist that does an album every year. Like to me, it's got to be just right, and it's
Hmm.
got to, like when it comes out, you got to be proud of it because it's going to be there forever. And
Hmm.
Dallas had been working on this song, and it was, I mean, I loved the direction that it was going in. But he's very particular with things, and he was like, I don't know. He's like, I'm not like there needs he's like, it's good, but there needs to be something else to it. And I was like, I think it sounds so good. And then, but he was like, this is what I'm envisioning. I was like, oh, I wonder if Ricky would like, because we had just worked together. I was like, I wonder if he would like hop on this track. And so I reached out to you, and you're like, send it to me. And um, from where it started, the track, to because we literally just said, you know what, have at it, like whatever you envision. I mean, do you even remember the conversations of like, we're like, okay, like you do, right?
I do. I was actually kind of scared because when you say just have at it, I was like, oh, so I can do anything to it. But I was like, oh, with that framework, I was like, oh, what should I do and what shouldn't I do? Because I don't want to make these, I don't want to upset you guys. But luckily, I kind of locked in. I kind of picked because I remember Dallas was telling me he wanted something like a Nile Rodgers, Daft Punk kind of
Yes.
vibe. So it just kind of built off of that. And luckily,
Yes.
the finished product was something you guys liked.
Oh, it was incredible because where it started off, I mean, the song's called I Just Want to Dance, and
Yes.
it's the ninth song, which is, I only have 9 songs on this album. It's a fun listen from start to finish, but it has like a beginning, a middle arc, and an ending, right? And
Hmm.
this song that we all did together was such a perfect ending to this album. But I just remember it was a great dance track demo that we sent to you, but what you brought to the table, it tells a story. It's so big. And the and also I was just like, you know what, like your musicianship, because you're a multi instrumentalist and you played, how many, you did almost every instrument on the track, right? Like,
Pretty much, pretty
right.
much. I I did the guitar, the
Yep.
drums, the bass, some of the background vocals,
Yes.
and that is even like cover all the other instruments I play in general. But yeah, I mean, I took a lot of inspiration from Prince because he did everything himself too in regards to playing all the instruments and arranging, and yeah, that was my base for who I want to be as a musician. You know.
Yeah, no, I love it. My it's so beautiful to listen to because it has this like haunting intro, right? Like the
Mhm.
verses, and then it just blows up in the chorus, like when it's like, I just want to dance on
Mhm.
and get my groove on. Like it's such a party song, but then the the musical breakdown, I just remember like the album to me also represents a lot of my musical influences, which funny you
Mhm.
say Prince, because that is mine
Mhm.
too. And the whole, and funny enough that you say that, because Prince was such an inspiration to me and Dallas both, like in our
Mhm.
musical journeys. And that's probably why we all like meshed really well together
Mhm.
sonically, but also visually. Like purple is like the theme of the album cover, and
Yes. Yes.
my shirt that I'm actually wearing, even though in the cover I'm like to the side so you can't really see it,
Yeah.
but it is Prince. And so I'll
Oh,
have
is
to
it
find
really?
it is. I
No
will
way.
find
No.
yes,
No way.
it is. And so it's just like this is what I say: when the stars align, everything is supposed to be for a reason.
Mhm.
That is yeah, so when you see like the full-fledged, up and down, like it's the Prince, like Prince
That's
shirt. Isn't
that's
that crazy?
it's insane. It's like you said, the stars align. The stars
The
really did
stars
align.
align, and the song is great because um I don't know about you, like when you're putting out music and albums and stuff, if like a track list on the album, if that makes a difference to you or not, because I know a lot of people nowadays, like they don't buy physical
Mhm.
albums. It's just, they download it, they stream it, or they, click to the next song. If that's not their favorite song, they don't listen to like the craft, like what
Mhm.
the story is about and what the artist was thinking. Is a track list on an album, like, does it mean something to you when you're putting it together?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. I'm not one of those artists who just throws a bunch of songs in a blender and just sees what comes out. Because,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a big fan of like Sergeant Pepper's and Pet Sounds, and every song is calculated with where they're placed on the album.
Yes.
So I definitely think about that more than
Same.
anything when it comes to listing the tracks.
Same. Like this when I was putting the order, it went through many renditions. Like I
Mm.
probably changed the order like 10 times. And especially our song, I Just Want to Dance, like it started off like in the middle, then it went to the top, but your guitar solo breakdown is so killer that I was just like, no, like and I just kept changing the order. And I don't know like what your process is, but for me, I have to like throw in earbuds.
Mm.
And I'm a big like I love going on walks and jogs and whatnot, and that's kind of like my meditation, but also when I'm like really listening to music, whether it's
Mhm.
my own or other people's music. And it, like it has to have a good pace,
Mhm.
because like if I can run on a cardio machine and not be like, oh, next, or you
Mm.
know what I'm saying, like I have to, it's got to take me on some sort of journey,
Yeah.
and also like the BPM's got to be
Yeah.
like, like there's got to be
Mhm.
a good flow. And so I think this album took the most renditions for me to like settle on like the actual, because it's not like an album of 24 songs.
Mhm.
So like for me it was very specific of where I put it, and I'm so happy. And I want to do a music video, so we have to figure out how to make that happen, right? Because you're in the East Coast, so one of these days we'll figure out like how we're gonna do it. And really, I think with your like, because I'm even like loving your own background, I'm sure
Oh.
you're gonna have great ideas. And then with some of my ideas, we can come up with something kind of amazing.
Oh, absolutely. And just let me know because I would love to be a part of it. Because jamming with you
Yay!
guys is like jamming in like Madison Square Garden. So it's just like you just have that larger than life feel to not only to your performance, just the overall sound. It's just it's there. It's there,
Oh,
seriously.
thank you. Like I think over time, my sound has changed. Like every album, I've tried to obviously change. Like that's the
Hmm.
whole purpose of reinvention, as an artist. But I think because I tour a lot, and I am lucky that there's times where I get to bring my whole band, which gives it a different flavor than
Hmm.
performing live to track. That I see the difference in audience, like when you have a live band,
Hmm.
especially the kind of music I do, which is pop and rock. That like it's really cool to look out in the audience and see like dudes like who probably wouldn't be like into like what is this, is this like a pop show, a family show, like what is this,
Mm.
but then they kind of take a seat or stand in the corner and they're just kind of bobbing their head. And I'm like, that's
Mm.
what I want. Like I call it like arena pop rock,
Hmm.
like that's so
Yeah.
cool you said Madison Square Garden because that's a goal.
Hmm.
That's a goal. Um, so yeah, so okay, so tell me really quickly, like about you said what are besides Prince, and you said you mentioned that you have other. What are your other musical influences that just kind of inspire you or got you into music?
So, when it comes to guitar, Jimi Hendrix and Eddie Van Halen are huge
Ooh.
inspirations. And in general, like Bob Marley and the Wailers, Selena Quintanilla. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, she's a big. I made a tribute song to her a couple years ago because
I
I heard
heard
it.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It came to me in a dream, and I was just like, I gotta put this down. Um, put it down on the recording to be
Yeah.
specific. But yeah, she was a big influence.
Dang.
Geez, I'm drawing a blank. But they're there. They're there.
That is so crazy. And I didn't know that Selena, like obviously I knew that you had written the song because I listened to the song. I didn't know that she was an inspiration, was one of my inspirations as
Mm.
well.
Wow.
I had
Okay.
a chance to meet her when I was a little kid. Yes. 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 So, as a kid, I used to perform and I had my set, right?
Hmm.
And I was Broadway theater girl. And so one of my sets, one of my songs was Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And then I would
Mm.
go into like New York, or, something, right? And it was here in LA, and it was at a Latin, festival of something. I don't even know what it was. My parents would like, my dad would bring my cassette tape and he would
Hmm.
give it to the sound person and stand by the sound person. My mom would be there like taking pictures. And I was like, not the opening act, but one of the acts before Selena.
Mm.
It was Selena y los Dinos, and like her
Yes.
family before she was Selena Quintanilla. And her dad and her were standing watching me sing Somewhere Over the
Wow.
Rainbow. I
Oh my
know.
gosh.
And she came up to me after the show. She gave me a signed poster with her telephone number and literally said that of I reminded her of her when she was, because she also sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That
Wow.
was one of her songs. And like, like I just knew her as Selena de los Dinos. She wasn't this huge superstar. And she says, whenever you need anything, here's my number. I would love to help out in whatever way possible. Insane, right?
Why haven't you told me this
I didn't
before?
know. I didn't know. Is that not crazy? This is so crazy.
That's the stars aligned. The
The
stars.
stars aligned. This is so insane. Yeah, and then another story, I ended up calling that number
Mm.
and it worked years
Hmm.
later when I was doing Twinkle Time, and I spoke with her dad.
Wow.
I know. And he said that he would have helped me because I think I was like, I think I just released Twinkle, the first album, and I was wanting like help and growth and whatever to like take my music, in the bilingual market because I've always done English and Spanish.
Hmm.
And he said that they had just lost their deal at Capitol Records
Oh.
because they had a whole deal and they were helping artists and whatnot. And he would have helped me had he still had that deal at Capitol Records. But
Oh
that
man.
was probably like 10 years ago. Isn't that insane?
That is insane. That's
That's crazy. Oh my God. I didn't know that that was like such a huge influence. See, this is when it's supposed to be and meant to be. I love
yes.
it. Oh my God. Now we have to work and do other things in the future.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Are you still there? Because you just timed out on my computer.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
I'm
hold
still
on.
here. I'm still
Okay,
here.
good. Okay, so I can't see you. I'm just typing in. I don't know why my computer does this.
I can
But
still see you,
Ricky,
and we're still good.
okay, good. So, Yeah, no, I'm so honored that you are a part of this album. It's one of my, I know everybody says, oh, this is my best album yet, but honestly, like I do feel very connected to this album because it's
Mhm.
actually very personal.
Mm.
Every song is a person. It's not. It's a personal, um, like something that has happened to me over the last couple of years since my previous album came out. And so I was like, I want to write my experiences, like little mini chapters of, what has happened in my life, but telling a message of how to overcome or to get through, or just an inspiring message of some sort. So that like every song is like a mini chapter. And so
Mm.
I'm so glad that I Just Want to Dance is the end chapter to a nonfiction fairy tale, and I'm very honored that you're a part of it.
Yeah, and again, thank you so much for having me on it. I mean, I knew it was special when I was working on it, and so much so that I spent all day on a guitar solo by itself. And I played it so long, I was doing so many different takes that I was developing calluses on my right hand. So by those end takes, I was in pain playing that stuff. So when you hear the emotion from that guitar, it's
It's
real.
real. You're
It's
like,
yeah. I don't think I ever told you that, but
no, you
it's
didn't.
true. But
That's
yeah.
crazy. Wow, Ricky. Well, again, everybody has to listen to I Just Want to Dance. In fact, a friend of mine, Brian Bond, wrote me today, and he just, let me see if I could show it to you. He just wrote, he screenshot, let me see. Oh, yeah, right here. He just screenshot, and can you send me that? It's,
Yes.
I Just Want to Dance. Oh, wait, somebody's confirming an appointment.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's a hair appointment.
That's important
But
too. That's
that's
important too.
important. So yeah, he sent me that, and he says that is his favorite song on the album. He's like, "That's
Wow.
my fave." But so yeah, and he goes on, but that was his fave. So yeah, no, and like we have other mutual friends that are a part of this album too.
Hmm.
Kit Wakely,
Yes, yes.
that is also a huge fan of yours, and he was like, he actually was like, one day you guys have to actually do something. He kept
Mm,
like kind of putting it in my ear
mm.
over time. So I'm so glad that this all became a reality. And in the process, I've met your amazing mom,
Yes,
who is like your big support system, and you come from a musical family,
yes, yes.
right? Like your
Yeah,
whole family's in music some way, somehow, right?
yeah, and I'm very blessed to have that support because I realize I'm very privileged in that sense because a lot of kids don't have their parents backing them or supporting them going to the gigs and that kind of stuff. So I have to say I'm really blessed to have my mother, my father, my little brother, along the ride with me.
That's so amazing. And I do think that's super important
Hmm.
because, when you're kids, I've been in the entertainment industry my whole life, and they sacrifice so much for
Hmm.
not just me, but my other siblings in anything that we wanted to do. Even though they might not have had the financial means, they somehow made it happen and
Mm.
took us, like I don't live close to Hollywood, like, but they would schlep us back and forth, to
Mm.
auditions or to work or to do whatever. So to have that support system and people that believe in you and your dreams and
Hmm.
just try to uplift and amplify is such a beautiful thing. And
Yeah.
so sometimes it might need not be like in a form of parents, but maybe it's like a teacher at school, or somebody that mentors you. So always appreciate, like I always tell kids, always appreciate those people, whether it's your parents or your teacher that inspires and is encouraging and supporting something that they see in you. So,
Abs-
and your
yeah.
mom like is so sweet. Like sometimes, like when I'm on stage and Dallas is running sound, like I don't have somebody to take pictures. Dallas used to do it, but when he's like managing levels for not just
Yeah,
me but
it's
for
it's
all the
hard.
other musicians, he can't because he's
Hmm.
like concentrating on everybody.
Yeah.
So your mom at that one thing in New York, she like took pictures and video and she sent it to me, and that was so sweet. And I just see the love and how much she believes and supports her son. So that's really special.
Yeah, absolutely. And she went to art school, so she has a good knack for taking pictures. And everyone always
Uh,
always tells her that.
See?
Hmm.
Yeah, she needs to like be like press.
Yeah, she really does need one of those.
Really? Let's
Yeah.
just take pictures. I am press.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, I hope to see you real soon, and I hope that somewhere in the near future we can collaborate on more things, and because I think that and like do live things together too
Yes.
would be
Yes.
amazing. So
Yes.
thank you for doing this, and I'm so glad to introduce people that listen and have been following me. Again, I'm always not just supportive of like my parents and my mentors, but very thankful and grateful for long-time Twinkle Time followers
Hmm.
who have supported and listened and downloaded and come to my shows, because it's them that keep me in the game, right? So I'm excited to introduce Ricky to all of you guys, and listen to track number 9 on
Yes.
a nonfiction fairy tale.
And listen to the whole album, and while you're at
Yes.
it, just listen to the whole album. It's a beautiful album.
Thank you so much, and thanks for doing this morning.
Yes, anytime. And again, thank you so much for even having me, be a part of this amazing project. So thank you so much.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.